Ladies and gentlemen, this week we are introducing you our Foreign Investors on India, a newsletter which is published out of Singapore but focuses on projects, technologies, and investments into Indian market. It is designed to serve our fellow business community across the world of what is happening in India and how much gains it will bring to the global markets, global economies. We will start with how Indian and Russian partnerships this week has confirmed mega deals that runs more than $11 billion of foreign direct investment into India. Our next clip will give you an update on how the Russians have plowed in and will be plowing in an estimated $11 billion into an oil refinery based business as well as a port operatorship of an oil and gas petroleum refinery operatorships. Russian President Putin and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met in Goa over the weekend during the BRICS summit. They witnessed some 16 agreements plus other deals that runs into multi-billions of dollars of Russian defense technology, hardware, and software being put in India. This is the start of a big transformation of Indian economy, Indian investment climate, and Indian infrastructure. We see Russia has taken a big lead compared to other developed economies in introducing a huge amount of investments led businesses in India following the Goa summit. This will see aircraft, helicopters, and their components, missiles, frigates, and shipyard based projects being undertaken across the countries hands on. This deal is Russia's Rosneft, which is leading nearly 11 billion investments or acquisition of Isar Oil, a refinery, a port operator in India with extensive retail petroleum retailing network across the South Asian giant economy. This has set a new benchmark of how foreign investors are looking into India, looking at India and what they have and what their plans is. As it is, Rosneft is already a global mega energy player. Indians are looking forward to more cooperations with the Russians in the energy sector, and that will lift up the supply of energy, petroleum products, and crude oil into India in the coming months. Ever increasing demand for energy, India is now seeking more LNG and plans to increase the current supply of 50 million tons to 22 million tons in the coming 3 to 5 years. A lot of LNG based projects are being implemented at port sites and pipeline network is being built. Tenders are being called for a large scale pipeline network, especially on the eastern part of the countries. We see India's gas plants expanding continuously, and the important point to note there is the foreign investors' participation will be involved as a large liquefied natural gas projects will be the suppliers and would want to be part of the distribution network within India. All the distribution will be done through pipelines and on to the final consumers, which will include some of the very large scale power plants, industrial sector, industrial manufacturing groups, as well as consumers running into multi-millions in numbers. GAIL is one of India's largest gas corporation, which has committed billions of dollars to pipeline developments as well as LNG and gas imports from across the world. GAIL has recently awarded a contract for 325 kilometers of pipeline in eastern part of India. The pipeline is part of a major 2,000 plus kilometer network that will come up within the eastern region. Gas is important, given more important by the Indian government, given and will be accounting for 15% of its total energy mix as in the next 3 to 4 years, up from about 7% it is now. KL has master plans and would want to be leading with these pipelines. Pipes for these pipelines are being supplied by the Indians and including Chinese major mills. Here again, the Chinese will be a major source of pipes supply for the mega pipelines network. In 2015, India received the bulk of 16 billion investment made in South Asian markets by private equities and venture capitalists around the world. The venture capitalist investment was estimated at 9 billion and the private equities investment at 7 billion by the Singapore Association of Venture Capitalists and Private Equities. This indicates that investment flow into India is picking up, says the association's chairman, Dr. Chi. We see more investment flowing into projects in the coming year, he said after a recent conference held in Singapore on venture capitalists and private equities. Indian Railways need innovative financing, says the bank's board bureau chairman Vinod Rai in a special article written for the Singapore based Institute of South Asian think tank. Mr. Rai has pointed out that some of the infrastructure is old, especially bridges, which need massive repairs. The railways must find a way of financing from overseas under private public project schemes that would help uplift the standard of railways in the country. The railways have have planned to refurbished or redeveloped 408 major stations across the countries, which will become major shopping hubs and popular parking outlets for the Indian general public. Rai feels that railway has the right momentum to continue upgrading its facilities in the coming year.